Hi everyone, my name is Maria Carola and today we're joined by Facu from Yearn.Finance, and today we're going to obviously talk Yearn and what's behind it and its plans and much more. And I would really love Facu to have a little introduction of himself, what he does, some very important information that we need to know about his personality.
Hi Maria, thanks for inviting me. It's a real pleasure. What I do in Yearn.Finance, I'm the PM for vaults and strategies. That's I help move things forward. I try to facilitate everything to strategists and protocol devs. That's super important because we're a decentralized project. So that's actually me. I've been in crypto for a few years, but that's it.
Usually it's very different ways that bring us into cryptocurrency. So how long have you actually been in crypto and blockchain, and what brought you in the first place?
That's a good question. I actually been in crypto for quite some time, but at first I was in Bitcoin. I was a Bitcoin farmer for like 3 or 4 years. 4 years actually, and then I got super interested into Ethereum and the smart contracts and the smart money, So I'm really here for the tech. That's what brought me in. And when I got into Ethereum, it was like 10 or 12 months ago. I met Yearn. So I'm a pretty new guy because I started pretty much with Yearn in the Ethereum community, and it was not only the tech but the community, the actual community, because I'm really used to work with open source software. So Yearn is a natural ecosystem to contribute to, because it's like open source. You start working, you start contributing because you really like it, and well, then you can stay as a team member. You can get grants if you're really bringing a lot of value. So for me, it was a really natural way to get into Ethereum in particular.
Open source communities are usually very, very welcoming to new members that can really contribute to the project. Yeah. And you have joined the existing project already. So Yearn was functioning and there was a team. What was the most interesting thing that kind of brought you in this particular project, not some other one?
Oh, it was actually that they were really welcoming. It's in Yearn, it's not really internal. It's like everything is external. The communication with the community is constant. We have like a ton of Telegram groups. That's how we work, and with Discord, and we try to invite as much people as we can that is contributing and bringing value. So that's how I started. I started actually helping out with support questions in Telegram groups and helping users and all that stuff, because what I really wanted was to learn, and Yearn was the most popular project at that time. So I said, okay, let's learn this, that it's a popular project and they seem to be doing like some cool stuff. So it was like supernatural. I got into a Telegram group. I started contributing because I wanted to, and you don't have to ask permission. So that's the way.
This is interesting how decentralized communities and companies work. You cannot call it a company, really. This is more of a probably a team. But okay, we'll discuss working in decentralized environment a little bit later. But could you just tell the most important information about Yearn that people need to know? So what is it? How does it work? What's the idea behind it? All the key facts.
I think we have two key facts here, or two key aspects about Yearn. The first one is what we already talked about, is the decentralization and all the Wi-Fi holders' responsibility that Yearn has given to them. And the other part is the innovation in the automation of investments. So the Yearn objective is to make investments much more simple. Because right now, like investing or what we usually call farming in Ethereum, you have to exchange tokens, put some tokens in some smart contracts. You have to be sure that those smart contracts are secure, and the protocol is a legit one. So what Yearn does is actually abstract all that from the user, and you deposit in what we call a vault, and that vault has some investment strategies that are designed by our strategists, and the protocols that those strategies use are assessed by our strategists and our security team. So the idea is you deposit, we invest it, and when I say we, and this is the important part, it's a smart contract. So you don't have to trust a human being with your fund. You have to trust the code. So if you learn some Solidity, or if some friend can read Solidity and can tell you, hey, this is doing this or this is doing that, that smart contract is going to do the same for you. Maria is going to do the same for me. That's a good thing, because it's always the same for everyone. So you don't have to trust a human being.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Actually, this is a very interesting point about smart contracts, because I'm very interested in the field from the perspective of a user, and I've heard different opinions about it. So first of all, this is, you don't have to trust any third parties, any persons, any companies. So it just does the work because it's mechanical. So this is a program that runs, and you don't have to put your trust into anybody. But the second opinion is that by eliminating this kind of third factor, so for example, you have like Binance, and in Binance you have a support chat, or you have like a specialist that can help you out in case something happens. And there are some people that believe that this lack of kind of human interaction is bad, considering working and using smart contracts. So what's your opinion on this total lack of human being in the process?
Yeah, I think that it's not for everyone. I think that there's people who need what I call hand-holding, because I think that's not about Yearn. That's about DeFi in general, because you have your keys, you have to approve transactions. Like the UX of the whole DeFi ecosystem is not for the mainstream user yet, I'd like to say. But for the user there are users who are more adventurous, or who are more tech savvy, or who want to explore new things, Ethereum is really good, because you can try stuff, and you can try whatever. I mean, if the UI is not working and you ask for help in our Discord, or in any Discord, I'd like to say, everyone will help you to deposit into a smart contract using Etherscan, for example. That's something really cool, because you feel like you are interacting with the blockchain directly, you know. So I think that's a good thing, but right now the UX is not prepared for the mainstream user, and I don't think that the human interaction in the support part, you know, I think that there's much more support in this kind of systems, not only Yearn, but other decentralized systems, other protocols in DeFi, because in Discord you get help directly from the devs. For example, you will see in Yearn, you will see Banter answering questions a lot of the times. That's really cool, because it's one of the main devs. So I think that you get more access to devs and more precise answers and everything. But on the other hand, you don't have that hand-holding about recovering your password, about I sent a transaction to the wrong place, I'm sorry you lost your money. That's really sad, but it is what it is. So you have both things.
Yeah, obviously this is not as easy probably as like a traditional exchange system, because there is like Coinbase, for example, where everything is basically done for you. There are services like StealthEX that are non-custodial, so you need to think a little, to think about your keys, to think about your wallets. And DeFi is kind of, for people who have been working with these services, so like Coinbase to StealthEX, this is kind of like a range. DeFi can be a little challenging. You're right that it's probably not as friendly from the point of user experience at the moment, at least. Do you think that it will improve over time, or it will go like a different direction maybe, and we will see DeFi more applied, not to tech savvy people, but to everybody?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're moving towards that. With all the L2s on the side chains, we're having, it's going to be cheaper in terms of prices, because right now Ethereum for small investors or small users is really difficult. And also we're moving towards a different type of approval, for example, because when you do a transaction, you have to approve the smart contract to be able to spend your tokens, and then you do the transaction. It's like 2 transactions when you want to do only one thing. So right now, the things are moving towards a different thing that is called permit, where you don't have to sign two transactions. So I don't want to get really technical about it, but that's going to improve the UX, and also the L2s and the sidechains are going to improve a lot the UX. But I think we need time, because this has been moving really, really fast. There are a lot of protocols, there are derivatives, there are options. We have a lot of financial products, but DeFi is really young, so we need some time, I think. But yeah, I think we're going towards that. Yeah.
Do you see more interest in Yearn in particular? Because obviously you work with Yearn. We have seen this massive splash and everybody interested in DeFi, but with all the relatively recent news with the all-time highs with the gas fees, that's been crazy, like over the couple last month. Now it seems more or less okay, but have the user base been growing over that time, or have you seen some kind of like a wave down situation?
Oh, no. We've seen the user base growing. It's really been growing because we see it in our TVL, the amount of money we have in the protocol, the amount of money that there's in other protocols. If you check the platforms with information, there's been a lot of influx of money coming in, and I think we will have much more because of the L2s and the sidechains. We'll have much more.
From the point of like marketing and business development and general user growth, how do you kind of get the new people in? So if you're new to DeFi, if you don't know how to use it, or you kind of know something but not too much, what is this like ease of use and interest in Yearn that can bring you in and can keep you staying?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that the first problem right now is finding Yearn, because I think the first problem that users find is that if you search on Google, it's really difficult to find the protocols. But when you get into Yearn, the good thing is that you have a system that is pretty much set it and forget it, and everything else is done for you. So you spend gas once, and that's it. And Yearn takes care of the rest. I think that the thing that Yearn is missing right now is like the return of investment, taking gas into account. So if you deposit now $1,000, when are you going to get back your gas cost of depositing that amount of money? So with the yield, but we're working on that. So we'll have it soon. And that's a cool thing, because you will, as a small user, you'll be able to see, okay, I want to deposit $100. I will get back the gas cost in 6 months. Okay, no, I won't deposit $1,000. $100. I will deposit, I don't know, 1,000. But you can try with different amounts, and there you can see, and you can see how your investment is going to go. So I think that's something we're really working on, and we have some MVP and some first versions of it for the website, and that's going to be really, really good thing for the users. I'm truly confident.
You were talking about many plans that you have for developing the project, making it better, more convenient, and so on. What are your probably most major milestones in the next, like, I don't know, a year? Everything changes so rapidly, so a year seems like 1,000 years. But if there are some like really, really big roadmap points, could you tell a little bit about them?
Yeah, a year is like 100 years in DeFi. It's crazy. But our next milestones are the new website, because the V2 website was like a stepping stone into this brand new version 3 website that the web team is working like night and day. So the website is going to have a lot of improvement. The one I told you about the investment, the return of investment, the vaults page, more information for users. It's going to be really better. And we're always improving. This is like a constant roadmap. We're always improving the strategies and making new strategies, because this is the past, if you want. But we had vaults with only one strategy, but right now those vaults that are like transparent boxes where you put your money, that money is invested by multiple strategies. So what we do is we're average the risk that you incur when you're depositing into a vault, your vault actually. So those are our two main focus right now.
Where do you think the whole DeFi space is going? So what will be, because DeFi is doing so many things. So there is investment, obviously there are returns, there are swaps, and it's so vivid, and you can't really say one thing that DeFi does. But is there some kind of like a general trend where it will all go besides the kind of improving user experience?
I see a lot of things moving into NFTs, but not NFTs as the way we know it, because right now NFTs are used as pieces of art, but it's much more than that. It's like what Uniswap V3 is doing. It's like to identify a unique position. Andrea once said, don't see NFTs as a piece of art, see as a database. So that concept is much more approachable to a regular developer, you know. So I see much more utility for NFTs, much more than pieces of art or this generative art. We start seeing like some intelligence into the NFTs with the CryptoPunks, the CryptoTrunks, or the Rare Pixels, or all these projects that are generative art that give you an NFT. So I expect to see more and more of that.
Do you kind of, I have been talking about NFTs for quite a while, obviously, as well. And do you see this future? Because this is quite a common perspective that NFTs, from this point where it's art, where it's pictures, where it's songs, where it's like kind of everything that is creative, or generation of something like axes, or I don't know, like some that's picturesque as well. It's character will go into more kind of utilitarian phase, and will be, I don't know, permissions or tickets or IDs or kind of the things that we use in daily lives that aren't really needed and we can't do without them. So this is what you believe in, right?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
And is Yearn planning some kind of NFT action as well, or?
No, not really. We had an insurance product a while ago. That was the YinSure thing, and it was an NFT, but right now we're not working on NFTs. We're focused on the investment, all the investment products, just to have like laser focus on one product and do the best we can on that, because there are a lot of opportunities, and yeah, we're really focused on that. So no NFTs for Yearn for now.
Oh, that makes sense to focus on one thing. I have promised that we've come back to the question of working in a decentralized community, because this is a common thing to discuss for people working in one as well. Like obviously, I work in the company where we have assigned positions. So like I'm the chief marketing officer, there are marketing managers, there is a product manager, so everything is kind of clear. And we have processes that help us work. So what we need to do, what we don't need to do, blah, 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 company culture, all this stuff. When it's decentralized, it's a little bit harder to organize as far as I'm concerned. And it needs to be really like self-regulated. Many decentralized communities think of creating foundations to kind of at least focus and try to organize everything that's going on. So how does Yearn solve the problems of regulation, of kind of processing, like project management kind of things?
Yeah, the project management thing is something we're putting a lot of focus now, and we've been putting a lot of it. So there's been a proposal a few weeks ago about the second version of governance, or the second version of the teams. So we will have, and we have it right now, but it's informal. We're formalizing what's already happening. So what's going to happen is we have white teams, that each white team is autonomous, but it's autonomous in its role. So, for example, the Y people team is going to hire people. The Y budget team is going to determine the budget for each team, and the Y guard team is going to take care of the security of the vaults. The thing about Yearn is that the powers of those teams are decided by the Y fee holders. So the holders of the token decide which powers, or which powers they want to give to each of those teams, or which powers they want to revoke. There was an initial proposal with some powers that was accepted, but in the future that can change. And each team is autonomous, and we are using the advice process. That means that if I want to do something, I will ask the group affected by that decision. I don't know, I want to write a book about Yearn that is going to have any character. I say, hey guys, I want to write a book. What do you think? Everyone in the group that is affected by that will tell me, hey, it's a good idea, it's a bad idea. I have the obligation to listen to all of them, but then I can do whatever I want. It doesn't matter if everyone says, hey, don't do it, it's a bad idea. So I do it, and if anyone has a conflict with it and can't live with it, we have a conflict resolution process. So that's the process for doing stuff in Yearn.
Yeah, that's interesting. Are there any clashes or like kind of cons of this system in particular?
So far, we've used it twice, and there was no conflict, because it's for like actions that are going to affect the team. If you want to do, I don't know, a new UI for Yearn, you just do it. You go and do it, and that's it. It's no problem. It's hard to say. It's all the process is inclined towards action, so you don't have to ask for permission. You can ask for help. If you want to do a UI, you have a great idea. You say, okay, Maria has a great idea, but she doesn't know how to code. Okay. You go to the web group. Hey guys, I have this idea. Anyone want to help? Yes. Someone says, yes, I want to help. Okay, you go and do it, and that's fine.
Oh, you guys are like super chill. This is so nice
Yeah.
to hear. Nobody's fighting. Nobody is like hating each other. This is a perfect world there.
Yeah, no hating, but yeah, sometimes when opinions are different, we just talk about it. We talk a lot, and that's cool, because when you start having different opinions, the conversation is really meaningful. So yeah, we don't have like hating and like heated fighting, but there's a lot of fight in the groups, like in the good sense, a lot of discussion, and that's really cool, because really productive stuff comes out of that, you know. So that's really cool. But yeah, then we have like some Scrum meetings, we have issues, we have more formal stuff, but yeah, it's like super chill, but we work super hard. It's chill, but we work super hard. Yeah.
How do people get rewarded? Actually, that was the question that I always had, and I happen to never ask it to anybody working in decentralized environment. I don't know why, actually, but so you contribute to the project, you really love it, you do a lot of stuff. For example, I don't know, I'm a designer and I want to design all the brand new things for Yearn, and I love it, and everybody loves it, and everybody agrees that it's amazing. But then, like, how do I get my profit out of it?
I like to call it proof of work. If you really want to do something, you're going to do it, no matter what. But if you did something that brought a lot of value to Yearn, what's going to happen is you're going to get into Coordinate. Coordinate is the platform we use for contributors. it's really cool because it's a decentralized platform. You get into it, you see all the contributors, and you can give a token. It's a token called give. So I have 100 gives per epoch per month to give to contributors that helped me or that I think that brought value to Yearn. So at the end of the month, everyone, all the team, and all the team members and all the contributors assigned their gifts to each people that contributed. They receive a share of the total budget assigned to contributors. So that's how you get rewarded when you're a sporadic contributor. If you continue contributing, you can have a monthly grant that is like a salary. But at first, it's like that. That's Coordinate. It's a great platform. Great platform. We really love it.
That makes a lot of sense. So everybody gets rewarded for the work. Proof of work at this point is a great name for it. I have one more question about it, but I totally forgot it. So we'll just skip it. Probably I'll remember it afterwards. But also I have a question about the role of your token. So not give, but how do I pronounce it correctly? I don't know.
Wi-Fi.
So it's Wi-Fi. And we have it on StealthEX, so it's tradable, and you have it as a point of kind of governance token, as far as I understood.
Yeah.
And what would be the general description of what it does and what people can do with it?
It's 100 right now. It's 100% governance. But the good thing about it is that we have an article around about what you can do with the Wi-Fi token. Like you can deposit in certain protocol, extract another token and invest it and all that stuff. So you can get some profit out of it and never lose your governance rights. But right now, the one and only utility is governance. And for us, is the most important thing. Because even when it seems that like governance is, hey, yeah, I go and vote and that's it. It's not like that. When you really want to get involved in governance, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of responsibility also. So yeah, right now it's just that you can use it for governance. And you can use it to mint another token that is called Goofy. That it's 1 million Goofy, it's one Wi-Fi, and it's like that. So, but yeah, it's governance.
If you want to get into governance, you said this is quite a challenging process. So I am a person who is interested in Yearn, and I would love to take part in governance. So what do I need to do?
Oh, no, it's the process itself, like the technical process. It's super simple. You go into the forum, you find a proposal. Hey, someone wrote a proposal, YIP 41 or whatever. You go and you vote yes or no. You read it and you vote. But if you really want to get into governance and you want to write a proposal, you really have to have fundamentals, because the community is super active. And if you write something, there is a process, like you write a proposal, you give it 3 days for discussion. And if the general sentiment is good, then you can move it to the on-chain voting. But the community is super active. You cannot pass whatever you want. So you gotta really put an effort into research and into the description of the proposal and the cons, the pros. It's like, in practice, it's not an easy process to make a proposal pass.
Now, this is interesting. How many actually community members that are just general public, not part of a team that is developing and actively working on Yearn, become interested to that extent that they start writing proposals and start pushing them forward and succeed in that?
Well, right now, no. But when we were going to mint new tokens, we had a group of more than 60 people, including some team members, but it was the majority of them were community members outside the core team that were interested in discussing and writing the proposal about minting. Because a bunch of team members wrote a post just to, I don't know, to start talking about the topic. And there was so much repercussion that we made a Telegram group and we discussed for quite some time about it. And there were a lot of community members, like general public. So, and that's really good, really, really good. I really love that process. Yeah.
No, this is great that there is such an interaction and interest from the people who are just community members and want to contribute. And how do you keep people so involved? So is it some kind of, because obviously I'm in marketing and I love discussing all the community stuff, because it's very interesting how projects actually form their community. There are quite some projects with very, very active communities. So even new ones like the Doge tokens, like Shiba, like Leash, like these people are everywhere, and there is massive number of them. And I just keep thinking what keeps them all together and what ideas do they have? Because one thing is when you're trading, for example, this is understandable. So you want your token to go up, you're like pushing it everywhere, you're talking about it everywhere. This is a very kind of understandable goal. You want to have more money. When you're involved in the project development, this is a slightly different thing. So you're a contributor and you're kind of more, I wouldn't say thoughtful about it, because trading is thoughtful too, but you're just more in depth maybe. And is it kind of like an interest in DeFi? Is it interest in Yearn in particular? Is it interest in that field of blockchain development that keeps people so excited about it and active and discussing things?
We did some, I don't want to say audit, but some like evaluation about the whole team. And the most common response, and I 100% agree with that, was that most of the people before Yearn, they felt that they were the smartest people in the room. And now in Yearn, that's not the case anymore. And that's totally the case. I think that the team, and because the team is really great, it's full of super smart people, and super smart people in different aspects, because generally smart people is generally smart people is considered in mathematics or in like hard science. But here in Yearn, you have smart people in art, in storytelling, and everything, all the aspects. And I think that the team and this action-prone process, like you can start a new Telegram group, a new working group about the topic you want, like let's tell the Yearn story, or let's make the Goofy token, and you start gathering people from different groups, and you get into a group with a designer, a people who can write a story, a developer, and everything, and you can get out a new product, and you can bring a lot of value. And it's not only about money, it's also about doing something that you really wanted. It's your idea, it's your baby, and it's like giving birth to a new thing. So I think that the whole, all that combined is what keep people inside Yearn. It's what's keeping me. So, and I think it's the general sentiment.
So it's about embracing the kind of what people do and what they're good at. This is good. It seems healthy, like from the community point of view, so that it's not toxic, not uncool. This is very nice to hear. We'll come back by the end of the interview to some general questions about the crypto space, it's very interesting to see the perspective of the people who are working in different areas. And probably the next question would be, what do you think will be the next big thing in cryptocurrency? Because we've seen the DeFi race, which is still going, but it's kind of more mature now than it used to be before. We've seen NFTs, we've seen Elon Musk. I'm not exactly saying what it is, but like the show. And we've seen the markets going up and down like crazy. And what would be the next step in this development? So what will be this kind of crazy trend that you predict?
I don't know, it's a difficult question. I think I will tell you what I fear the most is regulations, because regulations are coming, whether we want it or not, sooner or later. I don't know when they are coming. and that's 100%. I have 100% uncertainty about what will happen. I hope that it will not stop the builders, the people who are building in Ethereum. But that's what I fear the most, and I think it's going to be a big change because they are coming, whether we want it or not. So that I think is going to be a big change. I don't know when, but well, it will.
Yeah, but everybody has been talking about regulations for like a million years already, and in some spaces they're already in some spaces they're not, and like it's just hard. Probably it's hard to predict what it would be. But do you think that, because people say that, many people say actually, that it will be good for the space, so it will be regulated and it will be understandable, and mostly it's considered trading, of course. So like we'll have regulated exchanges like Gemini, and everybody would be like that, and everybody will be clear and pay their taxes. But from the point of people who are developing, from the point of people who are working, especially in open source decentralized communities, do you think it's going to be a huge problem to have these regulatory introductions? And what exactly could it potentially, because obviously we don't know, it lead to, from the point of like a showstop?
I think for our case in particular, I think it depends on the frame, and it depends on what they do. It's I think that in the development part, it's all about liability, because right now, you know, there are a lot of high DeFi. It's a young space, and how liable a developer is, I think it's a big question. And it's not only a regulation question, it's if you want, it's an ethical question. But I think that all the developers in the ecosystem do their best, of the projects that are legit, of course, do their best to bring the users the best experience and the best code, and they don't want to be hacked. And it's like a huge hit when a smart contract is hacked or has an exploit or whatever. So I think that the liability is going to be a game changer. If they don't limit it, it's going to stop some builders, and it's going to make them go anonymous, or it's going to change some rules of the game, because I don't know, I think that the user has to be responsible for where they put their money. I think there's going to be a frame for that, but I don't know what it is. But I really hope it's not stopping all the builders in the space.
Yeah, that seems pretty scary, to just have people cut off from their kind of passion and their work. Okay, we need to cheer it up on some more positive notes. So by the end, I would love you to give some advice to the people just starting. So everybody who would be watching this interview or new to cryptocurrency. So what do you think is important? So where should they go to have some information about Yearn, not about Yearn, about everything? Kind of, you're totally new, you want to know more, you want to be involved. So what is the correct way, in your opinion?
For me, the best way, and it's what I've done, it's get into the protocol Discord. In a protocol you like, get into Discord and ask questions. That's the most important thing. If you ask questions, no matter how newbie the questions sound, there's going to be people helping you. And that's the best way to do it, because if you start doing a lot of stuff, you can lose money, and this is real money we're talking about. So if you start asking questions, whatever it is, and I want to emphasize that, because I say it all the time, is no matter what it is, do I reject, this is for me, this is an error, or whatever it is, ask, and there will be people helping you. And I think that's the best thing about the Ethereum community in general. So that's the first step.
Thank you so much. This is good to hear that people have somewhere to go and to ask questions, because this is pretty essential. And to everybody who would be watching this interview after editing, I'm just saying that today we were joined by Facu from Yearn.Finance, and it's been really lovely talking to you. You're so positive, and this is nice to know that the community is so welcoming. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's been a pleasure talking. I really like to share my passion about the Ethereum community, because it's not a bunch of weirdos, that it's a closed group or whatever. So that was really lovely. Thank you very much.